Because of the death of Tyre Nichols, this week in Nashville, state lawmakers representing the Memphis area are moving forward with new proposed legislation to reform police practices in Tennessee.
That's right. Our Jay Shakur has more on what these lawmakers are specifically pushing at the state capitol.
It's strengthening Senate Bill 1380, a state law passed after the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis in 2020. Now, that law banned chokeholds, mandated law enforcement agencies develop a policy regarding de-escalation, and required a law enforcement officer who has direct knowledge that an excessive use of force by another law enforcement officer violates state and federal law to report it as soon as possible. It's not just the family of Tyre Nichols and local activists demanding changes in Memphis police protocol and use of force procedures. So too are state lawmakers from Memphis, including Senator Ramesh Akberry.
And it's hard to legislate a cultural change, but you can certainly create the conditions around punishment for use of force or for a failure to intervene or a duty to render care. And I'm not talking about just losing their jobs. I'm talking about facing criminal charges.
Senator Akberry says certain laws passed after the death of George Floyd still need more teeth, especially tied to the duty to intervene and render care. Ben Crump, the Tyre Nichols family attorney, hopes newly proposed Tennessee legislation will pass and be named in honor of the 29-year-old.
It's not just justice for one family, is justice for all of us. That's what Rovon is praying for. She wants reform. We want this duty to intervene to become Tyre's law.
Senator Akberry says multiple bills were introduced ahead of Tuesday's deadline, but said the process of writing, tweaking, and voting on the legislation is just beginning.
We want to get this right. We don't want to rush. We don't want to be reactionary. We want to be proactive. And so I think in the coming weeks, you'll see more of what that legislation will look like.
Now, we did reach out to MPD about the portion of SB 1380 that requires law enforcement agencies to establish a use of force reporting system, but so far we haven't heard back yet.